Whoever changed it.
I tried to tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's call the meeting to order, please. If you would rise for Mr. Wilder to lead us in prayer, and Mr. Jackson will lead us to the pledge.
I would pray with us. Dear Lord, we want to thank you for this day, the beautiful weather we've been enjoying, blessings you bestow upon this country, this state, ours. Look over us this evening. Help us to do the right thing by all those who look over us on a daily basis, our service, sheriff's office. We ask that you look over our military, the protection abroad. Ask that you, everyone that come out this evening, to us a safe ride home from our meeting. All these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Like a motion for approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your right hand. Like a motion for approval of the existing agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your right hand. Before we get into new business, I have an item I need to read. I'd like to take a moment to clarify that the Planning Commission is a recommended body to the Columbia County Board of Commissioners. Decisions made on rezoning various requests tonight will be forwarded to the Commission for final action on October the 17th, 2023. If you wish to address the Board of Commissioners at their meeting, please see Ms. Stoller to obtain a request to speak form. Any request for the public hearing will have a minimum of 10 minutes permitted per side for the presentation of opinions, data, and evidence by the proponents or opponents of a request. The applicant will be allowed to speak first, and any member of the public may speak after. Either side may cede their time during the hearing if they so desire. Okay, let's get to business. First item on the agenda is Ms. Montgomery.
Yes, sir. This is a request for a provisional home occupation for Frosty Lou at 6218 Old Union Road. Property is located on the south side of Old Union Road and is currently zoned RA residential agricultural, as is all of the surrounding properties. Shows an aerial view of the site with the existing house. And the proposal for this business is a mobile food concession trailer. Typically, that does operate as a customary home occupation. However, in this case, the applicant is proposing to use a separate shed for storage related to the business, since that is a separate building and not inside the house. That does require approval of the provisional home occupation. The property is over 2 acres, and this shed is intended to be used just for storage with no deliveries to the property. So there's no anticipated negative impacts from that additional building. And staff is recommending approval of the provisional home occupation.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak on behalf of this issue? Come to the microphone, please, and state your name and address, please.
Gina Beard, 6218 Old Union Road, Harlem, Georgia, 30814.
Right, go ahead.
As Ms. Montgomery stated, this is a mobile concession trailer that I'm trying to start up, and there will not be any deliveries. I have, in fact, inquired a commercial building for my deliveries. I just really I bought a $14,000 shed, and I was just going to convert it. I had spoken with the health department, and they told me all I needed was, because my concession trailer is fully equipped, that all I needed was a commercial refrigerator, commercial freezer, and just a sink in that. So my proposal is to do half of that building for just my commissary, which, like I said, I did inquire a commercial building as well. So the probability of me even using it for that is not probable, but I just wanted to have it just in case. If I get into a point that I can't afford that commercial building, at least I can still run my trailer with the required things that was needed by the health department.
Have I got any questions?
It brings up one, so if, you know, this is kind of your backup plan, you got the commercial building for the deliveries. Say you can't afford that, will the delivery then have to come to the property? Okay.
Because it is a residential property, after speaking with US Food and Cisco, which I would be acquiring my food from, they do not deliver to residential.
Okay.
So what would happen is I would have to drive like to Lexington to pick up, my items from a drop-off station that they have over there. They used to have one in Augusta on Mike Paget, but they've moved everything to Lexington, South
I'll be
Carolina.
done. What kind of food are you gonna be?
It's gonna be southern food, and my specialty is cake. So I inquired
Red
a
velvet?
recipe from my mom years ago. So I do a very awesome pound cake, and I'm gonna do it with a little twist. So be looking for me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Do we have a motion to accept or deny this issue?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the provisional home occupation for Frosty Lou at 218 Old Union Road.
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your right hands. Thank you, ma'am, for coming.
Thank y'all. You just made my dreams come true. Thank you.
Next item is Ms. Montgomery.
Yes, sir, this is a request for a rezoning from M1 Light Industrial to RA Residential Agricultural at 1808 Lonergan Home Road. Property is located on the west side of Lonergan Home Road and is currently zoned M1 Light Industrial per a rezoning that was approved in 2020. The adjacent property, although it's RA, is actually the DOT laydown yard. The surrounding properties are zoned a mix of residential agricultural and then industrial near the interstate, and then the couple S1s for the church and the concrete plant. Currently an undeveloped site, that is still the case. See here the existing site. The proposal is to rezone the property back to residential agricultural in order to build a house on this site. Would be back in residential use. In terms of future development map, this is in the Employment Activity Center. Single-family residential isn't exactly a anticipated use in this area, but the current development of this area is primarily large lot residential in this stretch, with again the exception of the laydown yard. And there are not currently utilities in this area, so the larger lot residential use isn't out of character for the development pattern at this time, and staff is recommending approval.
Does anyone here would like to speak on behalf of this issue? Come to the microphone, please, ma'am. State your name, your address.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Stevens. I am the new owner of the property. My daughter owns the adjoining property, and Mama wants to move home and help my daughter raise my two grandsons, or not raise, but be backup plan for my grandsons. I have been here most of my life. I retired in 2022 from Augusta University after almost 30 years of service. Retired on a Friday and got the bright idea to start a new job on the Monday in the city of Tybee Island, working for the city. So I'm ready to re-retire and come home.
Any questions? Thank you, ma'am. Anyone want to speak against this issue? Okay, I'd like to have a motion to accept or deny.
Chairman, I make a motion to recommend approval of file RZ-10-01, rezoning of the property at 1808 Lonergan Home Road from M1 to RA.
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your right hands. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, item 3, Mr. Douglas.
Yes, sir. This is an application for conditional use approval for indoor animal care at 4104 Colburn Boulevard. This shows the location of the property on the south side of Colburn Boulevard, just off of Columbia Industrial Boulevard. The zoning character of this area is largely industrial and commercial in nature. There is the nearby S1 for a church. However, the applicant has communicated via their application's addendum that their business will not be open on Sundays, so it likely won't have operating hours overlapping with the church's operation. All other developments in the area are industrial and commercial in use, and as you can see, it's roughly located at the center of this industrial character area. This is an aerial of the property. It is a multi-tenant commercial building. There, in just a second, we'll see a photo of the suite that they have. This is the plat of the property, and they are the suite pictured in this image closest to us that they're seeking approval for indoor animal care. As you saw before, this property is zoned M1. Indoor animal care is a named conditional use for that zoning district, so it fits with the character of the area and the zoning of the property. Again, that M1 zoning won't change. They're just seeking the additional conditional approval for indoor animal care for their pet grooming business at this location. And staff is recommending approval, provided that they can meet a condition to ensure that they have hair and lint interceptors for the plumbing utility for this suite, to make sure that they're not adversely impacting any of the property currently or any adjacent properties. Indoor animal care ensures that there will be no pets outdoors on the property. Additionally, the applicants have communicated that there won't be any overnight boarding. And you also saw from the map, if there were any overnight boarding of pets, they likely wouldn't adversely impact any residential uses, and most of those businesses in that area probably don't operate overnight anyway. And so staff is recommending approval with that condition.
Anyone here that would like to speak on behalf of this issue?
Yeah, I'm Chandler Tolbert, live at 143 Cindy Circle over in Martinez. So basically, like you said, the area is already pretty much all commercial, no residential. We've spoke to a lot of the tenants in the area, a lot of the businesses next door. A lot of them are happy to see a grooming salon come to the area, have dogs, are excited for us to try and open. About the lint and everything, the grooming tubs that we use do have hair traps in them, so that way it does not get into the plumbing. They get cleaned out, or they will get cleaned out daily. A little bit nervous about this. My first time ever being up here. There's a dog grooming around the corner. There's a boarding and daycare facility, I think, at the end of the street. So there's already one there. It's not something we ever plan on doing, because that means having to have somebody overnight. Something that my wife wanted to start up. She started this, she's been grooming for about 8 years now. And her last job, the owners shut down, moved to Virginia, and she decided to take the giant leap and open up her own company, something she's been talking about doing for a handful of years now, not having to work for somebody else, but being her own boss and having her own.
Questions? Thank you, sir. Anyone here that wants to speak on against this issue? Like a motion to accept or deny?
Chairman, I make a motion to recommend approval with condition of file RZ 23-10-02, conditional use for indoor animal care at 4104 Colbin Boulevard.
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your right hands. There's none opposed. Okay, Ms. Nana.
Yes, sir. This is a major PUD revision to add a conditional use. The location is 500 Oxbow Drive on 1.191 acres. The current zoning is PUD, and the use of the property is a retail center. And the request is a major PUD revision to add a conditional use for retail package sales of distilled spirits for off-premise consumption. This is the location on the south side of Columbia Road and the intersection of Long Creek Falls. This is the zoning map, and you can see on where Long Creek Falls is, that's the front of the Ivy Falls subdivision, which has many homes in the back of there. And across the street on the north side, that's Bartram Trail subdivision. Here's a close-up of the aerial. So the proposed use will be in this multi-tenant use building. This is a side photograph that shows the end unit that it's going to be located in. The unit's approximately 2,000 square feet. These are photographs from Columbia Road. As you can see, the slope is quite high up there, so there's limited visibility to the strip center. This is a plat of the property. The vacant lot that's in front of the retail unit building is actually zoned for daycare. And then to the right-hand side, where these lots are. This is, townhomes are under construction right now. This is the map that shows the 1 mile distance requirement that's required by the new zoning code that was adopted in May of '22 for the liquor store uses. And this location meets the requirement, being more than 1 mile radius away from the closest retail unit, which is AM Beverage Company, which is off Lewiston Road. Is a survey with the distances to the retail establishments and churches, schools, etc., that's required by the alcohol zoning ordinance, and that has been given to the development services for their licensing work on this. This is a close-up of that. It shows where the Dollar General is, and the liquor store will be in the end unit right here. The future development map shows this as neighborhoods character area. This PUD was zoned in '94, and the front part has been used for retail for a number of years, so there's really nothing out of character with the proposed use, and staff is recommend approval of this revision.
Is anyone here that would like to speak on behalf of this issue?
My name is Ashok Shah. My address is 551 Live Oak Court, Martinez. So this is what we'd like to do, open a package store there. I have talked to a few neighbors in the back, and they recommended it. I think a few years ago, there used to be a package store there. What happened to it? We would have limited hours too.
If I have any questions?
Gonna put a drive-through there since you're on the end unit?
Any other questions?
It's going to be hard for people to turn around and.
No, there's not much parking lot there.
Questions? Thank you, sir. Anyone here that'd like to speak against this issue? I'd like to entertain a motion to accept or deny.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to recommend approval of file RZ 23-10-03, major PUD revision for retail package sales of distilled spirits off-premise consumption at 500 Oxbow Drive.
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your right hands. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our business for tonight. Is there any other comments or questions? Thank you all for coming. This meeting stands adjourned. Make a motion, we've got a second.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Thank you all for coming.
Kept you so